In the face of the end of the world, no one expected that, with just a pack of instant noodles, you could take the daughter of the richest man home. If you added a bottle of mineral water, you could get a buy one get one and take away a beautiful nurse. After hearing this news, all the tycoons kept raising their offers just to be able to bring the beauties home. It turned out that their world had entered an ice age. At that time, food was extremely precious. Many people, just to survive, used every means, even to the point of madness. Yet one man had actually predicted this disaster and lived like a king in a luxurious safe house. It turned out the man's name was George. He was originally the son of the richest man, but because of his adopted brother Jack's framing, he was cruelly handed over by his family to the mob boss in exchange for the family's source of food. Perhaps God couldn't bear to see George die and gave him a chance to be reborn, letting him return to 3 days before the end of the world. This time, George decided not to compromise. Since the family favored Jack so much, he chose to cut ties with his family, then left home. He called his good friend William and went to the bank to borrow $100 million. He not only spent a fortune renting a military-grade safe house, but also bought a super bodyguard from the owner. That way, the problem of personal safety was solved. Then George and his friend emptied out all the stockpiled supplies in the supermarket warehouse to solve the food shortage problem of the apocalypse. God even gave him an electronic watch that could absorb everything, so George could store mountains of supplies. Soon, the end of the world arrived on schedule. Jack, who knew nothing, was still on a date with his girlfriend, but the next second, the climate suddenly changed. The temperature dropped sharply before people could react. The extreme cold froze people into ice sculptures. The unprepared Jack had no choice but to abandon his girlfriend and run for his life. It wasn't until he saw his girlfriend frozen into an ice sculpture that Jack realized the seriousness of the problem. It turned out that what George had told the family about the end of the world was real helpless. Jack could only hide in the mall with others waiting for rescue. Soon a week passed. Not only did no rescue come, even food was hard to find. At this time, a group of bandits suddenly broke in. At a glance, they recognized Jack as the son of the richest man, and immediately wanted to catch him to trade with the richest man for food. Jack panicked instantly after hearing this. After all, his family only had money and hadn't prepared any supplies. At this time, money couldn't buy supplies. So, to save his life, Jack betrayed George. He even wanted to take the bandits to George's safe house. Meanwhile, George's sister Paige also came to the door of the safe house. Her purpose was to borrow supplies from George. She even apologized to George for the family's wrongdoing, but George was already disheartened with his family. Faced with Paige's plea, George still refused, and just at this moment, Jack brought the bandits to the door of the safe house. Before Paige could ask him what was going on, Jack told the bandit leader that inside were all the supplies George had hoarded. After hearing this, the bandit leader immediately shouted to George, "Hurry up and hand over the house obediently." He would spare his life, but George ignored them. The bandit leader got angry right away and immediately ordered his men to smash the door. But one hammer strike left the door completely unharmed. Instead, his man was bounced several meters away. Even his hand was injured by the shock. Sure enough, the quality of a military-grade door was excellent. Seeing this, George and his friend immediately mocked the people outside. This scene directly angered the bandit leader. Then he ordered his men to bring out an Italian cannon. Paige, afraid George would get hurt, hurriedly begged them not to do this, but Jack didn't care, and immediately ordered the bandits to fire. After a loud boom, Jack thought the door must have been opened, but unexpectedly, the door was still intact. The bandit leader was stunned after seeing this. He immediately went forward to open the door with his bare hands, but was struck down by the electricity on it. The bandit leader was unwilling and directly ordered his men to use explosives. They used nearly 6 kilograms of explosives. George's friend William was very worried when he saw this, but George comforted him, saying it was fine. Then came another loud explosion. Jack found with disbelief that the door was still perfectly intact. The bandit leader was furious when he saw this. After scolding Jack, he told him to quickly think of a way, but at this moment, Jack had no good ideas. He could only rely on brute force to try to open the door. After hearing this, Paige immediately ordered Jack to stop. Inside was her real younger brother. How could Jack do such a thing? Seeing his sister criticize him for the first time, Jack protested with grievance that he didn't want to do this either. Otherwise, he would be bullied by the bandits. But what Paige didn't know was, this adopted brother was very evil. In his heart, he wished George would die sooner so he could inherit all the richest father's estate. After hearing this, Paige could only beg the bandit leader to spare George, but the bandit leader, he directly slapped Paige and told her not to get in the way. But no matter how they tried, they couldn't open the door. Meanwhile, George and the others were eating delicacies while mocking them. He even said outright that if the bandit leader could get in, he would let him eat all his food for free. This directly enraged the bandit leader. Since he couldn't open George's door, he would use Jack to trade for supplies. But Jack said he was just the adopted son of the richest man, not worth much. If they were going to trade, they should trade Paige instead. She was the real daughter of the richest man and could surely be exchanged for a lot of supplies. Even if she couldn't be traded for supplies, she could be used for other things. After hearing this, Paige finally saw Jack's true nature. The bandit leader was very satisfied after hearing this. Then, right in front of George, he took Paige away. At the same time, Jack also threatened George, saying bluntly that he would definitely make him pay for today's actions. Then Jack went back home and told his parents the news about Paige being in trouble. After hearing this, the family all tried to find ways to rescue Paige. They even took out all the food at home. Unexpectedly, they had just fallen into Jack's trap,